In this lecture, we're going to make sure we've got Visual Studio Code set up and ready to go. Up in the top left of Unity, you'll see Preferences. Click on that. That'll open up a window. Midway down, you can see External Tools. We're looking for External Script Editor. Mine's already set to Visual Studio Code. If yours is not and you'd like to use Visual Studio Code, then click on that now. Otherwise, if you're using a different text editor for your coding, then select that at this point in time, and then we can X out of that. That means that when we open up a script, it will open up that particular software as our text editor. Now, speaking of scripts, let's make ourselves a script just so we can go through that workflow just very quickly. We're going to right-click in the Assets area and then Create, Scripting, and then Empty C# Script. And before you click anywhere else, make sure you type in a name for this. We're going to just have a test delete me, just so we can see that it's something we're messing around with, and we're going to delete it, hit enter on that. Now, when I double click on this, it should open up Visual Studio Code. You'll get a couple of things like this. Do you trust the authors? Well, yes, I'm the author, so I trust me. I'll click yes on that. Get a few other things popping up. Let it do its stuff if it needs to do its stuff. I'm just going to hit X on that because I don't need to see it. And we've got in here just a very simple script. Over on the left, we've got our Explorer, and we've got a few other things in there. We're not going to worry about the code. We're going to get to that very soon in the next section of the course when we actually start making something. For now, I'm interested in making sure that we have our extensions set up. So you've got this left-hand panel over here. Click on Extensions, and you can see I've already got a couple of things installed, and it's a little bit messy here. Lots of stuff going on. I'm just going to minimize the recommended, maximize what we have going on here by just moving the window. This is where we type our code. Over here is where we're looking at what extensions we want to have set up. I'm going to recommend a couple of things for you here. You don't have to use exactly what I'm using. You can do your own research and see if there's something newer and bigger and better. A couple of things have been installed automatically for me. C#, for example, C# Dev Kit. The ones that I'm looking for in particular is Unity. So if you go up to the top and type in Unity, you will see some options in here. And the very first one integrates Visual Studio Code with Unity. Well, that's what we want. If you click on that, you can see that currently I have disable and uninstall because I've got it installed already. Just click on the button that says install or enable or get going. That's the one you want. So this is the first one that we want, is this Unity extension. I'm just going to remove my search, scroll down a little bit, and you can see the other one I'm looking for is Unity Code Snippets. Unity Code Snippets by Kleber Silva, and that's the same process. Click on that and install that, get it going on your Visual Studio Code. These should be pretty quick things to install. I'm going to remove that. And you can see I've got these first two, the C# Dev Kit and the C# extension. If you wish to install those, you can now. So you might be asking yourself, why are we installing these things? What are we doing? What's going on here? The reason we do that is so that when we're over in typing in our code, we've got these extensions telling our code to consider that we're working in Unity and consider that we want to have code snippets and we're using C#, so it will recognize that. I could type something in here. I'm just going to type some nonsense to see if it works. So start. Oh, it does. It knows that start is a particular thing that it recognizes. I can click on that. So it saves me a bit of typing. It just knows what it is that I wanted. Also, you'll see some red squiggly lines. So if I type stuff like that, you see the red squiggly line. It's like, I don't quite know what asdfdv means, Rick. It's like, cool. Thank you for pointing that out. I don't know what that means either. So lots of cool stuff. So there we go. We've set up our Visual Studio Code. The one thing I will say at this point is sometimes Visual Studio Code misbehaves. If it does, that might mean resetting something or installing something else. Just jump to the link that we've got in our discussions for this lecture, and it will show you a list of all the troubleshooting you can do for Visual Studio Code if anything does misbehave. And I think that's all we need from our little play, practice, goof around project. So if you want to goof around here a little bit more and break some things, or if at any point in time you're like, I wonder how that works, and I don't want to put that on my proper project, you can come back into this project at any point in time and move things around and play with them and break them and change things, knowing that it's not going to break your project that you're working on at the moment. So it's served its purpose, and it may have some purpose again in the future. That's all for this lecture. I'll see you in the next one.